Hello, 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 and welcome again. Welcome to Thriving Thursday with Andrea Perry and myself as her co host. And of course, we have our special co host back again, Miss Jenny. So we thank you for tuning in. On tonight, we have part two of Mothers. So we're going to get started. We thank Miss Jessica for coming in to just tune in with the mothers and give us some tidbits and advice. But first, we want her to introduce herself. So give her your undivided attention, and we thank you again for tuning in to this broadcast.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Miller. I'm a single mother of two grown adults. I live in Maryland, and I'm an Army veteran. I'm a licensed minister. I love life. I enjoy life. I'm just happy to be here. I'm so blessed.
Love it, love it, love it. We're so glad you're here. How you feeling, girl? We are so
I'm,
excited you're here tonight.
Thank
You look
you. I'm excited.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
You look gorgeous, and we can't wait to hear from you. So before we kind of get into it, we wanted to kind of have a little bit of a fun time, just kind of break the ice. So can you tell us what is your favorite movie and what is your go-to healthy snack?
Well, my favorite movie is, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, it's The Five Heartbeats. Like I know that movie front and back. I know the songs. I know when Eddie Kane's going to do whatever he's going to do. Like, that is my absolute
Love it. I can watch that movie beginning to end over and
favorite.
over every night if I needed
Yeah, back to back.
to.
I love that movie. And as far as my favorite healthy snack, um, wasabi almonds. Like I really like almonds, and they have a lot of different flavors and stuff.
Yes.
So every now and again, I like the hot ones because the wasabi ones, they taste really good. So that's my favorite snack.
I'm here for it. I'm all about some spicy food. I love wasabi too. They have the wasabi peas too. I like having those in like trail
Mm,
mix. Those are good. Yeah.
that sounds so
Nice.
good. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fabiana, did you want to start us off or do you want me to jump in? Oh, well, um, let's jump in. I know that this is month of May. We celebrated Mother's Day. How was your Mother's Day, by the way?
My Mother's Day was good. My kids, I love my children. They're older children and they do whatever, I ask and then some. So it was good to spend some time with them and spend some time with my mother. So it was a good time. Church was amazing. And then just to be able to spend time with my mother and my children. So it was a good Mother's Day.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's awesome. So, take us back. We want to kind of go down memory lane. Can you
Mhm.
take us back and kind of share with us what's your first memory of your mother, like as a child? What was your first
Okay.
memory that you can recollect?
Sure. So my mother was a teacher and she taught in the public school system for 36 years. So my earliest memory of my mom is her sitting at her kitchen table, doing her lesson plans and planning out her day and planning out her weeks for the kids. And she really loved what she did, what she taught. She put everything into it. And then I would watch her get dressed and she would have on the nice pants and the nice clothes and the heels and the makeup. She was always so well put together every single day. Like she stepped out of the house to go to work, and even other kids had like paint and Play-Doh. She was dressed to the nines every single day. So like that is the earliest memory of me as a child, just watching her like do her lesson plans and then go upstairs and get dressed and get ready for the day. So, yep.
That's beautiful. She sounds like an amazing mom and an amazing woman.
Yes.
So would you say that there are things from how your mother mothered you, that you carried over into the way you chose to parent your children? And if so, like, tell us more about that. What are some of the similarities in how your mother mothered you, if you will, compared to how you mother your children?
Okay. So my mother, she's a very loving mom, and she's a provider, a strong woman, and she stuck up for my brother and I for everything. Like, she was at parent teacher conferences. If I came home and I had a problem with something, she was always right there. So I appreciated the support that my mother gave me, and she always, whatever I wanted to do, she supported it. When I wanted to be a cheerleader and I didn't know how to cheerlead, she was like, "You can do it, Jessica." And she, picked me up from practice, and she dealt with me. I mean, back in the 90s, we had like one big TV, those big floor models, and she'd sit there and let me watch like cheerleading competitions and stuff to try to figure out like how to do it. And she was so supportive of me. And I'm the same way with my children. Like, if they need anything or needed or still need something, I'm right there. Like, I'm supportive of their dreams. I encourage them to, whatever they want to do, just let me know, and I'm right there. If they, like, my daughter wanted to draw, so she got writing pad. She wanted to take pictures, so I went and got her this crazy camera. Like, my son, he was really into art, so he wanted to sing, so he went to do singing stuff. He wanted to act, so he was in plays. So I made sure that I supported them in anything that they wanted, because my mother did that for me. And I think it's important for us to support our children, even though, I was like, "Oh, my son's kind of big, he should play football." And he was like, "No, I want to act and sing." I'm like, "Okay, that's what you want to do it." And it's I think it's so important for us to be supportive of our children and to support their dreams and what they want to do. That's what my mother did for me. So I just, do that for my children.
I love that. I love that. And it's almost like passing legacy on, because I'm sure, you did that for your kids, your mom did that for you, and your children, once they grow up, if should they choose to have their own, I'm certain they'll do the same for their kids. So there's legacy in that, and being supportive. And so I'm curious to hear from you. It sounds like a lot, because you talked about your kids like having all these extracurricular activities, and they were in school. I'm sure you had to help them with homework, and you balanced a lot, being mom, being having to cook, having to do all the things and work. Can you kind of give us insight into how did you balance motherhood, all things motherhood, with your career and anything else you might have had on your plate?
So that was hard.
Yeah.
I can say that it took a lot of prayer. Um, God helped me with my children. I can definitely say that. Lots of prayer, lots of, digging down and just doing it. Um, it, my career, I'm a cybersecurity engineer, and it's very, very demanding field. It's very hard mentally, and you're just so physically exhausted. And as I was building my career, I wanted to make sure that my children
Suffer.
didn't lack for anything. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that I was always there.
Yeah.
And you just do it. You find it. You find it somewhere deep down in there, and you say, "You know what? I can do this. I'm not the only single mother. I won't be the last single mother, but I'm going to do this for my children, and I put them first." on a lot of
Mm.
stuff. A lot of stuff that I wanted to do, I put on the back burner.
Wow.
I wanted to travel when they were little, and I waited because the Bahamas isn't going anywhere. Florida's not going anywhere. It's going to be right there.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
but they're not going to always be 15. They're not going to always be 16. So you do for them to create good memories, and you just
Yeah.
do it. You find it and you just do it.
You just find it. Yeah, you find a way. I feel like all moms have that superpower. And I hear, that sacrifice. I hear making your children a priority. Um, throughout motherhood over the years. I'm sure it's evolved, but how did you practice self-care? Despite having to put the things you want to do on the back burner so that your children could be first. How did you make sure though you were still treating yourself or, practicing self-care or making time just for you? Any tips or advice that you can share?
Well, I can say that honestly, at first, I didn't worry about self-care. I put everything else first but me, but I had to really sit down and say, if I don't take care of myself, I'm not going to be here for my children. And lots of prayer, digging your heels deep and get rooted and say, Lord, I need help with this. You need to guide me to take care of them, but you need to give me wisdom to take care of me. you know so lots of that, a really good support system and friendships, and a support family, and really making sure you're around people that have your best interest in mind, and being around people that share the same goals, that want to do right by their children, who want to be supportive mothers, who want to we're going to do this for our kids, we're going to sacrifice, and we're going to make sure our kids have a good childhood and make sure that we do for them. Because when you're in a position like that, it's very important to be around like-minded people that will speak life into you and speak life into your children, because they're so impressionable at that age. You can't be around negative people. You can't be around people who say, girl, why are you doing that for them? Why don't we just no, you don't need any of that. No, you need to be around people that are just like you, who have that mindset, who want to do for their children, who so being around the right people, a good support system, and definitely God in prayer is how I maneuver through that.
Yeah, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. And it's so true. It makes me think about sort of having a mentorship. And I don't know if throughout, life, I'm sure you probably have, had a mentor for your career or had a mentor through college or whatever the case may be. But do you, as a mom, and maybe it's your mother, but did you have a role model or someone that you looked up to? I know you talked about surrounding yourself with like-minded people and having a close circle of friends who can be that positive reinforcement. But did you have sort of a mentor in the motherhood space, or a role model that you looked up to?
Yes. So I grew up in church.
Mm.
My in my teenage years. So I was a babysitter. So when I watched a lot of people's children, I would see how they loved them,
Mm.
and I would see how they cared for them. So those type of memories stayed with me. And then as you get older and you have kids, you watch those same people, how they deal with their older children, and how they love
Mm.
on their older children. And then, also you watch how they treat their family, how they treat their husbands. And I don't know if they even know that they were mentoring me, but I know I was looking up to them. As a teenager, you see a lot of stuff, and as a young adult, but I was always in the mindset of, okay, I need to fashion my life after people who are doing it right, who seem to do it right, who are loving and kind, and love the Lord and have a great family and doing for their children. So there are people that I looked up to. I can't say they mentored me. I don't even know if they know that they knew they were mentoring me, but they were.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was watching their life.
So good. And then that makes me think about, you never know who's watching you. Even I'm sure there's people watching you who, they're like, man, I love the way she does that for her daughter or for her son. So yeah, I mean, that speaks volumes in itself. And my last two questions, this is sort of a two-parter. And I'm curious to know, what's the best advice anyone has ever given to you? And it could be related to anything. And then the second part of that is, what advice would you give to yourself at your younger age? And I think, I'm sure we probably have a wide range of people watching in or tuning in or who are going to watch the replay. So what advice would you give yourself at age 20, 30, and 40? So the first part is, what's the best advice anyone's ever given you?
This may sound strange, but somebody said to me, I was overwhelmed and all this stuff to do, and I had to do this to this. I mean, my tasks were piling up, and they said, Jessica, how do you eat an elephant? I was like, what does that mean? He said, one bite at a time.
Wow.
And I was like, that makes sense. So when you look at a huge task or something big, just one bite at a time, one thing at a time. You can't do it all at once. You can't do it all at the same time, and you really can't do it all in a day. You just take one bite at a time.
So good.
Eventually, you'll eat the elephant.
You'll eat the elephant, right?
This guy that I worked with from Vermont told me that, and he was like a work mentor to me. And like, I've applied that to so many different parts of my life. Like when I feel overwhelmed and I got to do this and I got to do that. Wait a minute, Jessica. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so I carry that with me. It sounds so weird, but when you think about it, it's like,
it's true.
I can only do one bite at a time, and that's it.
Yeah.
Advice that I would give my younger self. Woo!
Yeah.
That's a loaded one.
Right.
My Jessica in my 20s is when I was in the military. And I would tell myself, save your money.
Girl!
Save your money. And
yes.
Yes. I
mic drop.
Instill that in my children, and they are great savers. They are amazing savers.
Wow.
The Jessica in my 30s, save your money.
Right.
Don't blow it. Save your money. And that's one thing I would tell the younger people. Save your money. Do grown-up stuff. Don't blow it. Enjoy your life. Be careful. And watch your circle. Always make sure you're around people that are like-minded, people that are loving, caring. They have your best interest at heart. Those are the type of people you want to be around.
So good. So good. That was all good. I know we're going to go higher. I'm going to pass the mic over to Fabiana. I can't wait to hear more. You are really blessing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome tidbits and advice. Yes. Letting your light so. A lot of times we don't know who we're inspiring, who sees us. So that's why God says be entertaining angels unaware. Live your life as though when you're doing things, you're doing it for God at all time, even if nobody's watching, because He is watching, number one. So we must be careful on how we serve, on what we say, and how we think, because what we think is going to manifest. So that's a blessing. Taking tidbits from others, that's an inspirational thing, knowing to circle yourself with like-minded people because they're going to encourage you. You don't want to be around people who's going to be the dummy downer, who's going to mislead you, misguide you, especially when you're a single mom. It's hard enough as being a single mom to always be encouraged yourself. So you want to be around people who gonna, I'm not gonna say always boosting your ego, but who's gonna tell you right and who's gonna tell you when you're wrong. Because you need both. You need the pros and the cons to live your life, not only for yourself, but for your children. So that's a blessing right there. Always surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people who think higher than you. Andrea, is there something you want to say before I get started with my questions? Okay. So my first question, you said you're a mother of two adult children. How is that? I know how it is for me, but how is it being a mother of adult children?
Ooh, well, I can say that I developed, I was their mother, but I developed the friendship with them too. I developed an open communication. We can talk about anything. And I wanted to make sure that we had that kind of relationship. So when they got older and things happened, they would not be afraid to talk to me. I enjoy my adult children. I love them. I mean, we have fun. We laugh together. We joke together. They're respectful to me because we developed an understanding. I'm the mother, you're the child. I wasn't your friend when you were kids, but as they got older, I started moving towards the friendship part, the mother and the best friend, the mother and the confidant, the mother the, and the secret keeper. Thank you, Andrea. But so that was something that was built. Like my daughter, she's about to be a mother now, and it's beautiful to see her go into motherhood. And but we have an amazing relationship, both of my children, and I and it's great that we can be friends.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you, the mom now, I'll be your friend later type of thing, putting your strictness on, you still have boundaries. You have to respect me, even as an adult, because I'm still your mother. And the way you grew them up will show in the very long end. Surrounding them with the like-minded people, going to church, teaching them about the Lord, how they saw you work hard to make sure that they had what they had. All that molds them into being the children, adults that you desire them to be. And this is going to be a process. Now you're about to be a grandma, G-mom, not sure what you want to be called once the baby is here, but it's all in preparation of relationship,
Grandma.
communication. Now she's going to see the baby is, now she's going to see, once the baby is here, how it was for you to be a mother. So that's awesome. That's awesome that you're close and you get to help her mother her child. and that's a blessing. I'm also a grandmother of two. The first question I have, well, the second question, I didn't know, how old are your children, and are you married?
Um, my oldest is 23
Mhm.
and my youngest is 21. I'm not married. I was married. I'm believing God for a husband. Thank you, Jesus. Um, but yeah,
It's coming, sis. It's coming.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
So you're an empty nester.
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
Are you an empty nester? Are you an empty nester? Do your kids live with you, or because sometimes it's a
So,
difference. You can be real close when they live outside the house compared to them living in the house. There's a different relationship for some reason. But you tell me how yours is.
so my daughter does live with me, and she decided to move back in, and that was fine with me because I can help her and be supportive during this time. My son, he lives with me, but he's away at college, so he's like only here like half the year or whatever. So we have a working like relationship where we have certain duties, we take care of certain things, and that was a long, like mature conversation that we had to
Mhm.
to say, okay, if we're going to live in this space, these are some things that you have to do, I have to do. So we were able to communicate that to each other, and then and it's made it like so much easier.
Yeah. Um, Still, as a mother, putting those rules down, that's just something we have to do. And it's not like they don't know that these things have to be done. Sometimes you have to reiterate. Um, they're young adults. You want them to be grown, learn the adult things. You don't want to enable them where they're still there by 30. So you want to train them, mold them, help to be an adult, a responsible adult. So that's a blessing. I'm so glad that your daughter has so much support from you and so much love. That is going to be the thing that she is going to cherish, because being a mother, you don't want to do this thing by yourself. Being a single mother, you don't want to do this by yourself, even if you have a husband, just to have that like sisterhood type thing. It's a difference from having a father and then having that one that you can connect, because stand is to carry a child, birth child, the things you may need as a woman, being going into motherhood advice. So much things that you can instill in her as she prepare for the birth of child. So that's amazing. We thank you. We can't do this alone. It takes a village. The other thing is, how do you know when to back off when the communication gets a little heated with your children?
um I have learned and it just may sound funny, but I blink. When I feel like anger raise up, I like clench my teeth and I just blink because I realize that when you're upset and you say something, Like, you can't take that. And I honestly, and I learned how to talk it out versus yell it out. I learned that from my daughter. And she would say, Mom, can we just talk it out? And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, she helped to bring me down. And that was a very mature and strong thing for her to talk to me and be like, Mom, I don't want to yell. Can we talk? And I'm thinking, okay, I'm used to yelling, but we can talk. And we were able to open up that communication, and we're able to talk about it if we're upset without getting so angry. And I learned that from her because I'm a bit of a hothead. And to learn how to properly articulate my feelings using my words and being patient and not being upset, but not being angry, you know, and that was something she taught me. And I'm so grateful for that because that's not how I was. I just fly off and then I'm good. And she prevents me from flying off. And she brings me down and I'm good. You know, we talk about it. She's very good at expressing her feelings and articulating her thoughts and articulating her feelings and both of my kids are. They're very good at articulating that. And so they taught me how to deal with when I'm angry with them. And that has been such a blessing. I've learned so much from my children. It's amazing how much I learn from them. Oh, I think you're muted.
That is so powerful. I think, am I still muted? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Thumbs up? Okay. So
Yes.
I think that's,
Perfect.
I'm so excited about you sharing that because a lot of times I think we don't know. I'm not gonna say we because I'm not a parent, but as parents, sometimes they don't understand that their children can help them throughout parenting, and that there's no manual, and that your children are specifically for you. And what you have for you may not work for everyone else, but what specifically for you is something that is, I think, so unique and so like divinely orchestrated by God. And if we get more into purpose with our families and our children and seeing the vision that God will have for us to like live out, I think what you have done and what you have just said has literally broken generational curses. If someone is they and they haven't been listening to their children, I don't know if my internet is good or not. Hopefully it's okay. Okay, and they haven't been in a place where they can listen to their children. I think this is something that a lot of people need help with. What do you think was like the key for you in opening up to being able to hear your children say, Mom, you don't have to yell right now? Like, what was the key for you? Because I think that takes a lot. It takes a lot of humility to say, you know what, she's right, or you know what, he's right.
I did not like us fussing and arguing in the house. I want peace in my house. I've always wanted peace in my house. So it took some compromise on my part for me to change how I am, because I'm very outspoken. I'm very, I could be confrontational if I have to, and I could be, I'm in your face type person, and I got them right now. And da-da-da. I got that from the military. I got that from being, you know, a woman in my field. You know, you got to stand up for yourself and fight for it. But home wasn't where I needed to do it. Home is where I needed peace. Home is where I needed to hear that. And I needed to know that that wasn't needed there. And that took me like really listening and humbling myself. The breaking point was we didn't want to argue. We didn't want to argue. We didn't want to be fussing about not putting your clothes away, you know, or whatever. So, you know what? She may not always pick up her shoe by the door, but I might not either. Is that an argument? Is it worth sacrificing my peace in my house because there's a pair of shoes at the door? You know, what's worth fighting for? You know, my kids, they don't do drugs. They're not in the streets. Son's not running women, you know. So what? The shoes are at the door. They're home and they're safe. You know what I mean? It was the trade-off. It was the trade-off.
Oh my gosh. That right there, that's it. It's people, you know, the people who watch this by replay, hashtag replay, please hashtag replay. So one thing that you mentioned was the military, and that, you know, you had those strong key in your face, like I could talk to you, and then your career as well, being in, you know, mostly male dominated career. What do you think sets you apart to be able to in the military and your career and even as a mother? Because one thing that I would say about you is something that I truly admire. And I don't know if I ever told you this, but the way that you are with your children and the way that you are with other people, there is just a very, very, I don't know the right word, but more than mothering, and it's more than humbling. It's just an amazing presence that you have. And I've seen you in different, you know, spaces. So do you realize how wonderful you are? Okay, come on off mute. Come on off mute.
Thank you very much. I genuinely love people. I genuinely want people to do good. I want people to be happy. I root for people. Like, we are all here. We're trying to get to heaven. We're trying to do good in life. Thank you, babe. I genuinely love people. As a child, I asked God to, and I didn't know what I was asking for. Lord, I want your heart. I want people the way you see people. I want to be able to love people the way that you love people. And I love people. They get on my nerves, but I love people. And I want to see people do good. And you know, you don't know what people are fighting with on the inside. You know, you don't know who needs that smile, who needs that hug, who needs that little bit of extra whatever. And I'm gonna tell you how that played off years later. So in high school, I was very bubbly, friendly, and just talked to everybody. Loved everybody, talked to everybody. That's just what I did. And I was at my 20-year high school reunion, and this one guy came up to, two people came up to me, and I cried this one guy, he was a short little mousy guy in high school. He said, Jessica Miller. I said, hey, how you doing? He said, thank you so much for talking to me. Somebody had to. You helped me. And then this one girl that I'm still friends with to this day, and both of them are on my Facebook page, she said, Jessica, you don't know that you screaming my name across the hallway brightened up my day every single day. You don't know what I was going through at home. You don't know what kind of life I had. And that brightened my day every single day. So I make it a point to smile at people, to love people, to do people right, even when they do me wrong. I try my best to do people right because God is the ultimate scorekeeper. You know what I mean? If somebody does you wrong, God's going to deal with them. You continue having that love in your heart, and you continue giving of yourself, and you continue being there for people because people need that because it's not out there. And love and be for real about it. Love them for real. You know, when I'm if when I'm in a friendship, I love that person. I love you because I ask God to give me his heart. I love people. So I'm getting emotional because like it's not a lot of that out there. It's not a lot of them genuine people who are rooting for you, who want to see you do good. You know, people aren't like that anymore. And I've had my fair share of hurts and heartaches and pains, but I still love people no matter what, because that's not out there anymore. And people need that. They need to be loved. They need to know someone is in their corner. They need to know that someone is genuinely wants to see them do good. And I think as Christian women, we need to do that for people. Because you don't know who's not getting it. God's the scorekeeper. He'll pay you back. And
That's
he'll take
right.
care of you.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, Jessica. You have given us so many gems, so much. You've literally given us your heart tonight. And for that, I can't do nothing but say thank you. I knew when I asked you, I knew you was going to make me cry. Because you just have an amazing, amazing spirit. I remember the first time meeting you, and I just remember just how much you made me feel seen in a group of, a lot of people. You made me feel very important and valued. And of course, we met on Facebook, but y'all, Facebook, they got some genuine people on here. Like she said, it's few, but there are still some good, genuine people out here with a mother's heart, a mother's love. I think even in your friendship circles, you need a one that's going to be kind of like, have that mothering, nurturing touch, because sometimes what we miss, God begins to cycle it around and he'll give it to you from someone different, or what you wasn't able to receive, at a young age. God will cycle it around and he will allow you to receive it. Jessica, can you tell anyone, that wants to, you may be doing this again, how they can get in contact with you, what you'll be doing next, and where are you on social media?
You can find me on my Facebook page. I do have Instagram. I think it's JEDEMI77. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I have Snapchat, but I don't remember my name. I think it's JEDEMI77. I don't really do too much of all that other stuff because I like the socialing that we do on Facebook. I do like that. What I'm doing next? Well, keep me in prayer. The encourager needs encouraging sometimes. I have a book in my heart and I need to get it out. And I've been trying to get this out for a long time. And everything else happens but that. I feel that the Lord has given me something beautiful, and I need to share it. And I need to get cracking on that.
Yes, you are in good company because you got 3 authors up here with you. So God has put you around authors. So we're praying for you and with you. And we may be inboxing you, asking you what chapter you on. Because we are accountability. We love to be accountable and to hold others accountable. Jenny, what do you have coming up next, or what you doing next, and where can the people find you? Okay, you still on mute.
Sorry, I'm just over here talking away. You can find me on all things social at Ginger the Friend. Right now, I'm working on developing a 3-month program, so that's in the works. But I do have my book available on my website, gingerthefriend.com, and I have a productivity challenge that you can take part in. It happens monthly. In addition to that, I offer a free webinar every month called Master Your Morning. So if you're looking for support on how to develop a morning routine and to really set your day up so that you can be successful and increase productivity, definitely connect with me. gingerthefriend.com or at gingerthefriend. And I just want to say, Jessica, this has been so refreshing. You're so poised. You speak with so much grace and so much wisdom. And I just thank you for pouring out to us. This has been just incredible. And I definitely want to keep in touch. This has been amazing. Thank you.
So, in closing, just we've been having a little bit with static with your phone, but I still want to get it out. If you could speak a word to the unappreciated mother in closing us out, whether it be by prayer, affirmation, however you want to do it, I'll put you on the screen by yourself and you're going to just go for it, okay?
To the mother. Wherever you're the fullness.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, Jessica, we can't hear you.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay. To the mother who thinks that she's not enough, you're more than enough. You're more than a conqueror. If you feel that you're in alone, you're not alone. God is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. To someone who feels that they can't do it, you can do it. Dig deep. God's got your back. You're beautiful. You're fearfully and you're wonderfully made. God has a plan for you and for your children. Love them. Give them beautiful memories. Don't think that you're not good enough, because you are. Don't think that you're not smart enough. God will give you wisdom. Don't think that you can't do it, because you can. I pray that the Lord blesses the work of your hands. I pray that God gives you wisdom beyond your years. I pray that God gives you strength beyond compare. I pray that God gives you peace in your storm. I pray that God gives you love when you don't feel it. I pray that God gives you strength when you feel weak. I pray that God touches your heart and touches your children. I pray that He gives you wisdom and love and patience and kindness in Jesus' name. I love you, my sister. I love you, my mother. We got this together. We can do this. Get yourself around a circle of people who have the same things in mind. Get around people that love you, whether it's on the internet or if it's in person. Get yourself around people that will love you, that will care for you, that will build you, that will lift you up, that will share nuggets with you. Pray and pray some more. I love you, my sister. You got this. If I can do it, anybody can do it. God is able. He's the master of all timing, and he knows the end from the beginning. So lean on him and trust in him. I love you. In Jesus' name.